to another edition of Ask the Healthcare Advocate Live. Today, a brief recap of my upcoming week. It's so exciting. I've got 3 different Zoom lectures going on. This evening, I'm lecturing to a crowd through Merkaz Eden who are learning how to be balaniyot or mikveh ladies, and super excited to talk about women's health issues that come up, since that is my area of expertise, what I was trained in a former life. Then I get to talk about childbirth and delivery options and navigating that system in Israel for new Olim. That's sponsored through the Jerusalem municipality and Ginot Ha'ir. And that's super exciting. And then on Thursday, I get to do my caregiving lecture for people who are taking care of others, caregivers. We're going to be talking about communication. So that's super exciting. I thought I would give one tip from each lecture that I'm going to talk about. So first, we're talking about women's health, important things to know when we're navigating the system. And people ask me all the time, what do I do when I have a gynecological, not an emergency, but it's a question, issue, etc. So what I always want to clarify for people is that every kupa has some type of urgent care or women's health center that you can go in to see somebody without an appointment. So they have hours where you can go in and check things out, and you don't necessarily need an appointment. So make sure that you ask your kupa, the secretary in the clinic, what the hours are for the closest one where you can see somebody who does women's issues without an appointment. Very important to know. Second thing important to know when we're talking about childbirth and delivery in Israel, I get this question a lot in terms of being able to meet your midwife before, the one who's going to deliver you before the birth, because in Israel, as we all know, the system is very different, that we have our prenatal care with a gynecologist in the kupa, but when it comes time to birth, we go, and whoever's on shift, by the way, fantastic midwives in Israel, no connection, but who's ever on shift, it's a midwife who's in charge of our delivery usually, and then there's a doctor who also comes in to check out, involved, less involved, depending on the birth and the hospital. However, we don't meet her beforehand. Is there a place in Israel we can meet her beforehand? There are 2 places in Israel where you can, let's say one place where you can pay and you meet the midwife beforehand, and then she delivers you, the same one. That would be Mayane Yeshua. And there are other places like Laniado where you can meet a group of midwives and one of them will be delivering you. So that's just to clarify an interesting tidbit about delivery in Israel. And the third, we're going to talk about communication this Thursday morning. For those of you who haven't yet signed up, please send us a comment or send me a PM. Happy to send you the registration link. It's free, but we just ask you to register ahead of time since it's on Zoom. We're talking about communication, and we are going to focus on communicating with the doctor. So when you're the primary caregiver, how do you talk to the doctor? How do you talk to other people who are involved in the person you're caring for, either your siblings or another parent who isn't ill? Super important. And we're going to be talking about how do you talk to the person themselves, especially when they're interested or not interested in help. So those are my takeaways for this morning. I'm a little bit late, and I gotta run to my next meeting. But please join me every Sunday morning between 8:30 and 9 when I talk about everything healthcare advocacy in Israel and sometimes abroad. And feel free to send me your questions and send me your comments. And I always look forward to seeing them.